so this cannot be just me. This has got to be a shared experience. Do you guys imagine yourself in a workout edit while you're fucking working out? I don't even have to be actually lifting, but like whenever I kind of get the surge of, you know, because I'm always motivated. I'm gonna hit the gym every day no matter what, because I want to. But I do have moments of like almost extreme hype. Like my hype will spike. Like I'll watch a specific fucking JJK edit, or like a old school something or other, and it'll just seriously get me going. That's all I do when I do the 30 minutes of cardio bike in the morning, is I'm just sitting there watching TikToks, and I fucking up the intensity 2 levels and start pedaling extra hard, just because I'm fucking, I mean, you know, that's what I think about. And so as much as I like just doing the workout itself, I kind of like just, I don't know, man. I mean, when it comes to going hard, like actually pushing yourself on your sets, is it not just cool? You know, yes, the harder you go, the better results you'll get. Right? The stronger you'll go, the more you'll stimulate your muscles. In terms of progress, training harder is just objectively the way to do it. But training hard is also just fucking cool. You know? Like, I couldn't really, let's just say this, I can't sympathize with the reps in reserve type of training. Now, not to say that reps in reserve is just bad overall, but what I mean is like, you know, people who legit push a set to the point of mild discomfort and then they rack it, you know, and then they just move on to another movement. One word, yuck. You know, I mean, it's train hard, man. It's cool. I guess I can't really, I don't know. I feel kind of weird. I feel like half the time I'm in here talking to you guys, I'm like advocating for training hard. But I feel like if you're already lifting, you get the deal. You know, you don't need some dude to tell you to do it. But I don't know. That's what I was thinking about. And now it's extra weird, or not extra weird, but it's almost like it's like that's sort of been manifested. Because now I always pump out little, I got to start pumping out more TikTok edits. I'll try to make one out of today's video for sure. With, you know, some kind of goofy joke on top of it. But plan for today's lift is back and I'm hemming and hawing about calves. But the fact that I'm such a schmuck. I've been skipping calves for a little while. They're not small. Like, I don't look at my calves and think I wish these were way bigger than they are. Like, I don't look at them and think, oh man, these are small. But I want bigger calves. I know I do. I think I'm falling under the I've fallen under the hidden muscle effect, where you don't really see a specific muscle too often in your day-to-day life, so you don't really get reminded to work it. I feel like calves and hamstrings are the most prevalent fucking spots in the body that get hit with that. You know, even though everybody's wearing pants all the time, everyone wants bigger quads. You know, I think that's a pretty universal statement. Shoulders makes you look bigger into just a straight up fucking shirt. You know, fucking everything. Pretty much anything waist and above, your whole torso, the bigger the better. Whereas, you know, your hamstrings and your calves, they don't necessarily add anything to your look in a day-to-day routine. So I think the fact that I haven't really had to see my calves that often may be making me skip them. So, back in calves. But plan for back. You know, it's whatever. Rows, pull downs, pullovers in a variety of orders. But one thing that I've noticed when I'm dieted down, especially, is I think I prefer to make my lifts a little bit quicker. For one thing, just because I'm not so full of fucking calories and carbs and I'm not like, it's not like you're more hydrated when you're bulked up. Like you can still be, like super fucking lean and well hydrated, but when you're really full of, glycogen, glyco, carbs, and then the ogen, that's it's talking about fucking water. Like when you're eating a ton of food like that, you do just become larger and fuller. Your muscles pretty much have these little storage spaces where sugar water just fills them up when you're eating a ton of food. And when you're full like that, you are stronger. Muscularly, you're gonna have more endurance. And I'm fucking noticing the fact that I'm dieting down every lift. When I did chest yesterday, 2 sets of heavy pressing, and fuck, man, I wanted to do another. Well, the machine press that I did after barbell was pretty heavy, but after 2 really heavy sets of pressing, I was kind of cooked already. So not only do I kind of get hit fatigue-wise a bit quicker, but when you're dieted down, being and staying pumped, or I should say getting and keeping a pump, is trickier, because when you're full of all those fucking all that glycogen and sugar water from being bulked up, fuck, you're just gonna get pumped doing anything, at least if you're in a really big surplus. And anybody who's ever really bulked knows this. Unfortunately, I'd say the most typical place that you get pumped up just in your day-to-day routine is your lower back. If you're hunching over the sink and you're upwards of, I guess I don't really know the weight distribution of everybody watching, but if you're 220 plus, decently lean, and you're hunching over the sink doing your dishes, dude, your lower back is gonna be on fucking fire. Yeah, but what I mean to say there is, when you're bulked up, fuck, man, you're just gonna get pumped from doing whatever. Whereas, when you're dieted down, your carbs are a bit more sparse. You're not so full of, let's just call it muscular fucking fluids, sarcoplasm and whatever else. It's a little trickier, So I'll notice that I kind of get peak pumped a little bit sooner, and not just rep or not just set wise, but time wise. And what I mean by that is, like, when I'm really bulked up, I can keep a pump for like a fucking while. Like, I could do a back day that's an hour long with like 3-minute rest periods if I wanted, if I was really taking my time, and I'd still be pumped to shit. But dieted down, I definitely notice if I wait like 3 minutes between a set, I could feel myself become less and less pumped. So that, combined with the fact that my cardio is a bit better, not even from just being, or obviously from doing cardio, but just being in a deficit, you are a little bit more, let's just say you're a little bit more of an effective machine. You're not wasting so much of your oxygen breathing on just dealing with digestion and everything else. You kind of, the amount of energy that your body is spending on dealing with all the extra food you're eating is a bit lower. But, when those two things are combined, like when I'm doing back, I might do a big set, hit failure, and then after just a minute on like maybe a really heavy row, which would usually take me 3 minutes to recover from, I feel like I can hit another one. So, dieted down, rest periods, I would say do shorten just a touch. And not because the sets aren't, well, actually, yeah, the sets are a little bit easier. I notice for sure that, well, you gotta think, if your muscular fucking endurance is a little bit cut down from really dieting, then physically you're not gonna be able to do as much damage even if you take a set to failure. So your cardio system, which is, or at least mine, which is used to handling me do a fucking crazy massive set when I'm really full of carbs and bulked up and strong, my cardio system is now only dealing with less weight and probably less reps. So I'm not so out of breath. But the approach with my rest periods, this will be the last thing I say before we get in there, is just go when you're ready. Go pretty much as soon as you're ready. On a set of squats, that might be 4 minutes. on a set of side laterals where you're not really doing too much damage. You're kind of just getting a burning sensation. You know, maybe, I mean, fuck, I've done some where I go back on the set after like 45 seconds. But no matter what muscle group, I think a good, or not even I think, I know that a good rule of thumb in terms of your rest periods is, you know, just take a breath, wait until you feel like you've gained your strength in that muscle to the point where you can at least do the same weight that you just did for a comparable set. Probably not the same amount of reps if you're actually pushing it. Like if I were to do a set of pull downs with, let's just say the stack, and I could do 12 good reps and 3 partial reps. If I try to do that set again, I could probably do the same weight, but if I really pushed it on the first one, I'm only gonna be able to do like 9 with a few partials. So if you've lifted, you know this. That's kind of a intro to lifting level question, but shouldn't be too busy. It's people usually just walk to the college gym and it's kind of muggy out, but let's fucking find out. Get back started. I did some warm-up reps. Well, I mean, of course I just did a whole, you know, lat warm-up on the cables, but I tried a straight up, you know, straight bar pull down, and something about it, like it's not like anything hurt, but I could tell, like, I don't know, my lats weren't maybe firing as much as normal. So, you know, for all intents and purposes, I just didn't want to do that as a starting movement. So instead, I'll start with a little lighter single arm rows. I think I definitely prefer cable to dumbbell, but let's just get started. Left side first. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. 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 Yes. Okay. One more. Same weight. Okay. Let's do some machine rows. There we go. Finally where I want to be. Okay. One more. Oh, not so slow and controlled, but a good set nonetheless. Okay. Let's make it drop set. No need for straps. Okay. Now let's do some pull downs. Yeah. There we go. Pull downs were taken, but no problem. Now I just want to do some single arm cable pull downs, which definitely a different feeling, but I'm still going to wreck my lats. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. 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 That felt pretty good, but I think I'd prefer straight up pull downs. So let's go wait for one to open up. Shouldn't take too long. Let's do a little bit of a lighter, close mag grip set. And with a handle like this, I mean, even if I was strong enough, your grip on these sorts of handles are, let's just say it's compromised, especially compared to a regular straight bar with straps. But something about this feeling of like only palming the handle, it does let me seriously squeeze hard at the bottom. So this set's going to be more squeeze emphasis. Okay. Okay. All right. I don't really want to repeat this one, but one more set of something, and then I think we're done. Let's just get an alter setting. Let's get an alternating set of single arm pullovers, and I think that's about right. Subjectively based on workload, fatigue, pump, my back's about to be fully stimulated after one more little bit of work. Yeah. 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 Oh. Yeah. One more. Oh. Okay. All right. Now we can go pose down and discuss. All right, so I always say the same shit when I'm in here. I'm like, oh, I wish I could see my own reflection of my reflection so I can see myself posing while I'm actually doing it. And then I remembered somebody commented, just put the camera behind me so I can see the fucking screen. Whoever that was, you were using 100% of your fucking brain. So let's, I feel like I'm looking at you, but I'm not really, whatever. Back pumped. Now let's actually see what it fucking looks like. You know, that's the real test of, well, no, I don't know. It depends on your body fat percentage. You can be pretty insanely pumped, but if you're a little more of a bulked up guy, it may not be so visually noticeable. So I guess that's where you're gonna have to just sort of rely on your own subjective feeling. But the back pose down, back and chest, I'm a little bit spoiled because not only is the primary muscle pumped, you know, my lats, my traps, but also just the act of doing back. I'm working my biceps a bit too, so they do get sort of a secondary pump. So honestly, my chest and back days, I almost have a full torso pump effect, just because almost everything's firing. But let's get the exposure a touch lower. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. And right there's good. Let's look at it from the front and then the back. I'll take a few steps forward. Oh my goodness. And same thing fucking backwards. I can actually see myself doing it. Oof. Christmas tree. It's working on it. It's fucking nuts to actually see myself doing it. I need to get a fucking, I need to do it like this all the time. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. So fucking traps, everything going nuts. But this is what I'm talking about. I mean, like, the arms, even though they are like pretty fucking developed relative to my back, and this is kind of a crazy case because my back is fully pumped up and my arms aren't, but I do want to get much bigger arms in proportion to the rest of my torso. Like, I'm getting big enough now, at least chest back wise, well, back wise, that my arms are getting noticeably small. So that's kind of why I've been skipping back on the bulk. Now that I'm dieting down, I'm not going to grow, so I'm still going to hit it just to maintain size and strength. Let's get one more crucifix. Actually, crucifix and a vacuum. And then we can roll. Oh my goodness. All right, last one. Oh, okay. Let's put a shirt on and get out of here. Can you believe it? Are you surprised? I know I fucking am. But no, I think some calves will do me well. And honestly, I mean, look, my calves aren't small, but I know I want bigger calves. If you've ever read Baki, which the new arc coming out now with Jack is pretty fucking badass. The way that guy draws the characters, obviously, fucking beyond natural. Everybody's huge, but the calves are fucking cool, like bigger than the dude's quads. So that's what I gotta emulate. But I'm thinking lightish sets, single leg, 2 plates, might go up to 3. I'll sit here for a while. I probably won't record every one because it's all the same shit. But we'll cut to a calf pump check at the end. There we go. So those last few reps on the right side were a little easier because my left calf is smaller. So failure on the left calf means I back off a little bit and only match reps on the strong side so the left one can catch up. That approach can be applied to any muscle if you're doing a single arm or a single sided movement and one side's a little smaller than the other. Just go to failure on the small side and match the reps on the strong side. And it should balance out over time. And if you've really got some, like if your right lat is way bigger than your left one, I mean, if you have a crazy muscular imbalance, like genetically, I guess you're kind of boned, but it'll probably even out. And don't forget, you are hyper fucking sensitive to how you look. You know, like when somebody looks at me doing that fucking double bi shot, they're just going to think, holy crap, that guy's huge. They're not going to think like me where I say, oh, my right lat's a little smaller. It's not as wide as the left one, or like my right, so take that into account. You know, body dysmorphia, even if you don't think it's hitting you, it probably is just a touch. But either way, a few more of these, and I mean, not a few, probably like 6 more. But I'll probably just show one more clip and then we can see how they look pumped up.
No. All my other cards enjoy just follow up.
Oh god.
I've always loved the new bike and stuff. So I got I'm in school, but I'm not that smart. I'm pretty smart, but it's like med school. Med school is tough. Yeah, PA school is intense, but
Okay. That was set number 2, but we can just cut to the pump check. I'll be sitting here for a while. I'm also doing some chatting with the guys I'm working in with. But let's fast forward to pump calves. All right. No need to go anywhere fucking fancy for the lighting. This will work right here. Let's just do a little calf zoom. Yeah, there we go. This is like when the TV's in fucking Charlie Brown. You can't see the grown-ups except for their fucking feet. But you tell me. From the front, I mean, that's a pair of calves. They're not too thin or anything, but definitely something I want to be nuttier than they are now. Like, it's cool, but I need more veins, more size. But I mean, come on. That's nothing new. So, not a weak point, but I think everyone should be hitting quads or hitting calves more than they are, myself included. But I said I was going to go cook those steaks my roommate had a bunch of his buddies over. We were kind of just shooting shit in the kitchen. So I didn't mean to tease you with like the cooking video for the like the ending clip. I just didn't do it. But I have another steak that I had in the sous vide for like 4 hours. It's flank this time, so that's going in the pan, and I promise I'll actually cook it up, and we can have a little chat about protein or cooking and whatever else. But let's get in the car first. I got a question for you. And I want you to answer honestly. And, you know, think about this. I don't want to know the answer. Right? I want you to think the answer to yourself. Have you really been pushing it? Have you seriously, for real, been fucking pushing it? I'd say odds are, I mean, just in the fucking grand scheme of everybody out running around at the gym, odds are no. You know, people who are really pushing it, it's not a high percentage. But there's nothing stopping you from being that guy who is training that hard. Like when people, I've been seeing a lot of these posts, which is, it's like, how rare is a 315 bench? How rare is a 405 squat? You know, and they're like, oh, it's a point whatever percentage of the population. And, you know, kind of, it plays up the achievement. Like, you know, not that many people do this, which is very true. But, I mean, anybody can. If you lift for long enough, I think 315 is within anyone's reach. Now, of course, that's going to depend on your, that's not a total fucking rule. Some guys are going to have really different insertions and, you know, their starting level of strength, whatever. But, yeah, I do think that anybody long enough, I'm not even talking geared out, 315 bench, that's feasible. Not that the weight matters, but I'm just kind of saying, you know, that is kind of that's a level of achievement to be able to do that. Not that you should. Screw one rep maxes. But there is a path to getting there. That path is working out hard on the fucking regular. Which, I don't know. I feel like it's almost weird to, like, so in my mind I'm thinking, why would you need to motivate somebody, or why would you need to give somebody motivation, or someone needs to search for motivation to be excited about something that they want to do? You know, like if you want to be a freak, or if you just want to get bigger and be impressive looking and fill out your clothes and rock some fucking 18-inch arms, or diet down and get your abs visible again, or just, you know, even just get in shape. I'm not even talking about become a total nutcase. I mean, if you want it, you can get it. And I think that's the issue. That's the problem. That's the part of that statement where the real information is hidden. It's the people that want it. You know, because it's, do you actually want to train? Do you actually want to work out and go through the process of it? And I feel so weird because I never see any fucking negatives. Like, this is sick. Every day that I get to do this is fucking awesome. Regardless of how far I've progressed or how long I've been working out like this, you know, in a progress standpoint. If you want to make this like your thing, you know, if you had a title, just arbitrary, apart from your own name, and you know, if you're an artist, then yeah, you're an artist, right? If you're a musician, you're a musician. If you're a fucking lifter, and that's what you want to be, then, I mean, it's all uphill. I don't know. I guess I can't put myself in the mind of someone who wants to be big but doesn't want to actually work out hard. I mean, it's a fucking enigma, you know? So I might be a little bit spoiled because I'm a little bit already in my element with the working out, because I was pretty in shape when I was younger from doing just, you know, sports and running around. Like, even as a little kid, you know, we got the fucking trampoline, playing outside, you get the gist. Biking around town, just being active. That definitely helps. So it wasn't a very big change for me to go from just sports to the gym. But, I mean, fuck, man. Really anything, as long as you do it on a consistent basis, you are going to progress. If you also apply a little bit of effort and sort of wrap your routine around it. Because there's guys that go to the gym every fucking day for 10 years and they look exactly the same. Apart from that, initial phase of development, they just reach a level of which, they put in as much work as they do, and then that's just enough to stay where they are. Which, nothing wrong with that if that's your deal. When I talk about working out, I'm like, I'm saying, push it to fucking, go fucking nuts, get your adrenaline spiked for whatever sort of set of, getting fucking massively pumped to the point of, I mean, to some people, to the point of repulsion. Not everybody likes a massive look. So, I don't know. It just does it for me. But for regular folk, everybody should be working out a little. Whether or not you want to be a freak, you still got a body. And having it be a little bit more capable from some strength training will do you good. Like if I can almost guarantee, I'm talking to a good chunk of you guys, if, bring your parents to the gym with you one night. If they're not already going on a consistent basis. I'm sure they'd lift it when they were younger. They know what they're doing. Just have them fuck around with you. It's fun like that. You don't even have to work out together. I try to do that. Every time I'm home, not as much now, but my dad's got this pretty good push-up routine with some fucking parallettes, if you know what I'm talking about. Those little handles on the ground. I forget the numbers, but no. Honestly, the more people you can indoctrinate, the better. Because then we're going to have bigger gyms with more funding, because they're going to have more members. Then they're going to be able to get better equipment. I mean, that just sounds like a better move to me. But I can't emphasize this enough. If you want it, you can get it. But you just have to also, do the work that comes along with it. I don't know if I'm just spoiled, but the act of working out, the act of practicing it, I just fucking love it. If you're a fucking, maybe not you, but think of a LeBron James. Think of why is that the only athlete I can think of? Think of fucking Michael Phelps. Do you really, and I will admit, it is kind of, it's not necessarily a great argument to point out the 0.0001% outliers like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Do you really think that they have to fucking drag themselves to their practices? Do you really think they have to constantly convince themselves to do the thing that they're doing? For whatever reason in their mind, they're wired to do it and they enjoy it. So, it's no fucking wonder they get that good at it. But that's I'm not a psychologist. I can't really dive in that deep into the difference between someone who wants to work out or someone who, as far as I can tell, anybody who's not getting a pump on a consistent basis is out of their freaking mind. But to each their own. To each their freaking own. It's not going to stop me from hitting arms tomorrow and fucking, trying to explode my sleeves off my shirt. So, back, done. Nothing else to say. Super pumped. I'm starting to get some more back separation and definition, which is pretty cool. At the end of, once I'm done dieting down, the lat veins should be freakier than ever. I was even starting to see them today, kind of crawling across, but don't worry. Do not worry. They get crazier yet, which I'm excited for. It's just cool, being big, being muscularly developed, even if you're not huge. When I look back at pictures of myself at a lean 175, I'm still yeah, fuck yeah, sick. Now I'm just bigger, which comes with its own drawbacks, of course, as we all know. But plan now, go to the kitchen and cook up that fucking flank, which I'll just talk about it there. So let's get inside. And now that's just perfect. All right, so there's not too many things in just the world that you can say with 100% certainty and have it be true 100% of the time. But I promise you, yeah, kind of killed my momentum of the speech, but I promise you will never have a flank steak cooked better than 5 hours. Well, I mean, you can probably, there's probably a little bit more optimization, but 5 hours, 127.5 degrees Fahrenheit sous vide, followed by, it's like, 30-second sear. You know, it's not really a fatty cut, so it's not like I'm going to get some crazy Maillard reaction going on the front lines. Plus, I don't want to use too much oil. You know, you got to think, whatever you're cooking something in, it is going to kind of suck it up. But I'm looking at a good chunk of protein here. I got to actually add up the math, because this is a straight up pound, 16 ounces. But I'm not just gonna, fucking vacuum it up. I am gonna sit here for a minute. I got a little bit of computer work to do. Plus, I'll probably edit this video tonight. Usually I wait a little bit and I do it the next day, but it's probably better for me if I'm a little more proactive with it. But I'm serious. And then it cuts the cooking time down to like 1 fucking minute, because you don't actually have to sit there and keep flipping it, and you don't have to guess if it's like all the way done or if like it's still red in the middle. And then you already cleaned the pan, so you think to yourself, fuck, I'll just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. And then you overcook it, so now your steak's well done and shit. Look, in terms of, well, let's just say in terms of repetition and recreating the same fucking, perfect pink every time, this is the way to do it. But, I will admit, it is a little bit of a hassle, because now instead of taking something out of the fridge and just putting it into a pan, and then that's just one step and then it's done, now you take it out, you season it, you put it in a bag, you put it in the water, you sit there for a while. You kind of have to set it up for the future. You don't just get it right then. But if you're a steak guy, I guess, if you like cooking steaks in different ways with different seasonings and different whatever, and you haven't been sous videing, I promise, fucking game changer. But am I concerned that I'm eating this much protein in basically one sitting? I mean, I'll probably eat this over the course of the next, I said I wasn't going to eat it all at once, but I think, this is just going to disappear. Not exactly. Especially post-workout, I hear so many murmurs about, immediately post-workout, you can digest protein and absorb it at twice the rate as normal. Fuck, man. I think you're fine. If you got a fucking big-ass steak in front of you, and it's 100 grams of protein at once, and not 50, don't fucking sweat it. But one thing that I have been thinking about, which I want to do for this next bulk, is, for one thing, since I'm not going to be, fucking in school as much, I really want to lock in on my diet. And I'm not talking about no more chocolate milk and no more treats, but I need to eat on a consistent, timely basis, because I was kind of under the impression that it was close enough, but I really don't think 5,000 calories all concentrated towards the end of the day is the same muscle growth wise than 5,000 calories evenly distributed. And I think having the same size meals every 2 hours, as much as that is kind of a bodybuilding cliche, if you're really going to be pushing your meals and you're actually going to bulk to the point of uncomfortability and you're actively fucking eating, I think that's the way to go, man. Because for me to do a 1,500 calorie meal 3 times a day, I think I'm just dropping too many calories in my system at once. So it's worked up until now, but the larger that I get, the more I need to optimize the routine in terms of the rest and the diet. And I think the training's decent. I don't think there's much, I want to improve my training always, but I think intensity is the bigger driver than necessarily your exact, angle of training. as long as you're actually training fucking hard on the regular. I think the limiting factor for your growth and your weight is just the food, man. So that's kind of my maybe not the theme. Let's just say that's going to be a main idea of my next bulk, is really locking in. Because with something like this, which I do like, I mean, imagine, you go to Costco, get like a straight up massive fucking flank, uncut, I'm talking 5 pounds or however big they are. Cut it yourself, throw it in the fucking sous vide. Then you've got it already for all day. You take half a pound out at either time, or you just cook it all, put it in the fridge. These are kind of the shit I'm gonna have to get into. I wouldn't be surprised if I even start doing the set an alarm at 3 a.m. and slam a shake in the middle of the night. Stuff like that. But good back day. I'm excited for arms tomorrow. I'm excited for legs after that. I'm just excited for fucking everything, man. This is sweet. So, cardio in the morning, of course. I know I'm the only one who's going to be doing it, and you're not. But what are you going to do? So, I will see you then. For arms, not for cardio.